Welcome, everybody, to the season of celebration, the last season of the year for Smite. This will be patch 10.9, and we're kicking it off, getting a brand new Tier 5 Medusa skin that I think is going to look really, really sick. I have not played PTS, and I did not watch the patch notes, which is why I'm here doing a patch notes breakdown, despite my voice not being the best, but it's the Blaze McBain, and we're here hoping to break down the patch notes for you. Going to be a little quicker than normal, just so my voice can hold up through all of it. Getting some new skins. Obviously, there's new battle pass coming out. There's a new event coming out. We have Odyssey happening. So just a lot going on. And speaking of a lot going on, if you need to get your gems, right now is the time to go do it. You can go to nexus.gg/BlazeMcBain, and you can get some gems on sale right now. Go check that out. But we have Shadowcaster Anubis, Soul Shroud Charon, getting a nice little mix there. Charon getting his first skin. It looks pretty nice from the card art. Then we're getting Sharpshooter Neath, because there's no such thing as too many Neath skins, along with Celestial Inferno Surtur. I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to look in-game. And then Celestial Mayhem Discordia, along with Celestial Deliverer Mercury. Mercury, saw that controversial nerf last patch that I was kind of heated about. But, you win some, you lose some. Celestial Singer Amuzin Cobb, Dragon Templar Ao Kuang being part of the recolor for the Odyssey. And then we have Infernal Blaze Agni, Wildcard Merlin, which I think looks really, really sick. And then the Ebony Knight Lancelot. So let me know of these skins, which one you're most excited to see. I think obviously the Medusa is probably the one that people are most excited about. But if you're not, let me know what other one you are enjoying. And that'll be part of our Odyssey event, along with the celebration event going on. So keep an eye out for all of that coming your way. And then we have some general changes and fixes. For my comp friends, we have seen Set banned for the past, month or so, maybe longer, due to an issue with a bug where he could teleport multiple times. That has been fixed. Martikaros had an issue with his Annihilator skin, allowing him to go invisible. That has been fixed as well, along with some fixes to Charon, Thor, and Mulan. And then we are obviously getting a new Conquest setup for this season. Gonna get a new map, some new lane setup, some new jungle pathing, so stay tuned for that. They don't have a picture of the map in the patch notes, sadly, but that'll be live tomorrow when you go check it out on August 29th. And it's going to be a little bit more brighter from my understanding as well. This is the season of celebration after all, and one of the major changes coming to the season of celebration is Shaman Camp and Spirit Totems. So this is going to be a unique jungle camp that replaces the back harpies between red and blue buff on the Fire Giant side. After an initial harpy camp spawn, the next 5 respawns at this location are Shaman camps. After all 5 have been cleared, the rotation returns back to harpies only. Camp respawn timers remain at 120 seconds. Each shaman camp contains a shaman leader and 2 shaman guards. The shaman leader is imbued with a spirit power that, when defeated, creates a new spirit totem infused with the power of the leader defeated. And basically, from my understanding, you can pick which one of these buffs you want as that happens. So the Shaman Leader stats, 600 health, 12 prots of physical, 5 prots magical, 28 base power. You get a little bit of XP and gold, and it scales as well. But to give you an idea of, after you defeating them, you get the Spirit Totem that you can create in each jungle buff camp location and can be interacted with by a basic attack, empowering one at a time. Spirit Totem buffs are augments to actual buff holder drops and can be changed at any time by empowering a new Spirit Totem before the buff itself is picked up. So you have the Azure Spirit Totem, which is 10% CDR, Golden Spirit Totem, which is 5% pen, Violet Spirit Totem, which is 10% attack speed, Crimson Spirit Totem, which is 7% physical and magical lifesteal, Verdant Spirit Totem, which is 10% health and mana. These last 120 seconds apiece. So it'd be a nice little spicy change to the Conquest map. I'm sure everybody will be excited to see that. Stygian Beacon, Unleashed Titans, guess what? They're sticking around. And now, after the Unleashed Titans both die, the Stygian Beacon will reignite after 5 minutes. So they changed the Stygian Beacon buff reward, so increased the max stacks from 3 to 6. They removed the movement speed buff entirely, but they added a new buff that gives you 1% physical and magical power per stack. So that'll be a nice little change as well. This decreases the damage to structures and lane pushers per stack by 5% to 4%. Unleashed Titans base reward increased from 170 to 250 gold. So a lot going on there. Some Conquest balance. Just know that there has been either a gold change, or a scaling change to XP and gold to the following thing: Cyclops chest, decreased gold deficit from 1% to 0.8%. Fire Giant, they increased XP and team gold. Pyromancer, they increased XP and team gold. Oracles reduced the respawn time to 1.5 minutes. They reduced the vision to 1 minute. Shield buff for the Scorpion Duocide, they increased the gold reward. Same with the cooldown buff Scorpion. And then the red buff got a decreased base XP and gold. The red buff Guard Mini also got a decreased gold reward. The yellow buff Holder and Mini got decreased gold, and then the main holder got XP diff, and same thing for purple. So along with that, we're getting new items, and these new items are in the form of recipes, and these are something you pick at the beginning of each match, and then you basically level them up through doing their quest. So the little note here says, even gods need to eat. And oh, have they been cooking up a storm? This season introduces a brand new type of item and recipes. These are effectively evolving items with quest steps designed to be obtained alongside starter items at the beginning of each match. Experienced players will be able to flex between different recipe for each god and role they find themselves in, min-maxing situations to get their final meal as fast as possible. For those who don't mind how long their food takes, the steps are designed to be obtained simply enough through casual gameplay. With no duration and stats, there is slightly less stress, and these meals can eventually be replaced to a round out full item build enjoy. So they take an item slot, you sell them later on in the game. So you purchase these for 0 gold. The duration is permanent or until sold. Each recipe is a mini quest with 2 steps. The rewards 50 gold on step 1 and 75 gold at step 2. And the recipes and dish items do not provide any stats. So we have golden gooseberries. You kill 30 minions and then you deal 750 god damage with basic attacks. This gives you the passive. All basic attacks will also hit enemies within a 10-unit radius of the target for 30% of the damage to gods and 50% of the damage to minions and jungle camps. You have Sturdy Stew. Step 1 is kill 40 or assist in 40 minion kills, and then crowd control enemy gods 10 times. You may not gain more than 1 stack per 1 second. The passive for the final dish, being hit by a hard crowd control creates a pulse that provides 5+1 per level protections to yourself and allies within 55 units for 5 seconds. This effect can only happen every 10 seconds. Bountiful Bow, spend 1,000 mana, step 1, step 2, deal 2,000 god damage with abilities. The passive for this one, when you use a non-ultimate ability, its cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds. This effect may only occur once every 8 seconds. Party Punch, killer assist 30 jungle minions, traverse 1,500 units. The passive on this one is every 100 units traveled, you gain a buff that deals 20 plus 15% of your power physical damage to the next enemy you hit with a basic attack or ability. Durable Drumstick, deal or take 1,500 god damage, successfully damage an enemy god 20 times the basic attack or abilities. This effect may only occur every 2 seconds. The Final Dish passive, being out of combat for 5 seconds grants you a buff that reduces the damage of your next basic attack or ability from a god by 20%. So some nice little twists in there to really make you think about what do you want in the specific role that you're playing or based off the god that you're playing. I really like this little change. And I think the fact that you get it at the beginning of the game and then you can decide, hey, I want to sell this later on is just a feels good item. Some general item changes. Mannequin Scepter is going to decrease in gold. Mannequin's Mace, they added 15% attack speed to it, and that's kind of crazy. Vampiric Shroud, Lifesteal got upped, and the Mana Restore got upped on all of it, except for on Sacrificial Shroud, just a Lifesteal buff on that. Absolution, they increased the CC duration for 1.5 seconds. Odyssey, they decreased the cost and increased the physical power by 5 and increased the physical power threshold from 50% to 60%. Divine Ruin decreased the gold cost, Erosion decreased the gold cost, and increased the passive radius by 10. Jotun's Vigor increased the passive health threshold from 50% to 60%. I don't think that changes this item at all. Mail Renewal, they decreased the max stacks from 5 to 4, increased the protections per stacks from 4 to 5, and decreased the ICD from 60 to 45 seconds. We might see more Mail Renewal. I like this item as it is. I think this change might just make it a little bit more viable. Oni Hunter's Garb, increased mitigation per stack from 3% to 4%. Love to see that. Toxic Blade, increased penetration by 5. 5 flat pin. Yep, that's what that item needed to be good, is the 5 flat pin. I've talked about this many times. I think this item needs to go. I think this item needs to become a glyph, maybe onto Odibo. It's something I've been talking about for a long time. If you listen to Battlegrounds of the Gods, a Smite podcast, or you listen to Up Your Experience podcast, or you tune into the streams over at twitch.tv/BlazeMcBain, I've talked about how Toxic Blade should just become a glyph. I've been talking about it for months, and I still feel that way even after this lousy buff. Warlock Staff increased the health by 50. Tablets of Destiny, they reduce the cost. And then we get to God changes. Some of these are wild. So Apollo, Audacity, while this effect is active, Apollo gains 20% increased basic attack projectile speed, which means Griffin Wing go burr, y'all. So Beautiful, they increase the projectile speed from 110 to 150. They increase the damage scaling from 80 to 85. Serenade now gains magical protections as well as physical prots. And Across the Sky, they decrease the landing time, decrease the tick time, and decrease the mana cost, which feels pretty good. I imagine we're going to see a lot of Apollo. I was already playing him in comp anyway, but now I just have more reason to do so. So that feels really, really nice. Along with that, Chernobog, Crystallized Curses gets increased projectile speed, decreased minimum air time, and they add a 25% slow to the initial hit. Vicious Barrage, they shifted the duration to 4 seconds at all ranks, decreased the cooldown and mana cost. And then Into the Darkness, they decreased the total dash time, increased the damage, and removed the slow. So that slow goes away, but you get the slow on Crystallized Curses. We might be seeing some more Chernobog. I mean, we're getting these global hunters getting some buffs. Hunters getting aggressive could be a little bit interesting in the new meta. Pele, Pyroclast, this ability now provides 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fuel on successful hit on an enemy. And the Volcanic Lightning increased the number of hits from 3 to 4, along with decreased the basic attack damage from 50% to 40%. And if you all were wondering, man, those Hunter buffs are pretty crazy, how about we buff Arachne and just make her kind of wild? Arachne, Cocoon, they decreased the amount of hits to stun from 3 to 2. They decreased the duration of the buff from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. They decoupled the stun from the attack speed stem. Web increased the number of broodlings from 2 at all ranks to 2, 2, 2, 3, and Nightcrawler increased the leap range from 40 to 50. I think Arachne is one of those gods that's never really done too well in comp. I wonder if these changes kind of bring her around, though, because I think this is really interesting. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Toth, the artillery mage that I thought was already a top 5 mid laner, seeing some buffs here. Dead Reckoning added 1% magical penetration per stack. Hieroglyphic Assault now deals 25% more damage to jungle minions. Glyph of Pain increased the basic attack damage by attacking through the glyph. And Final Judgment increased the damage to now 420 scaling to 660 plus 125% of your magical power. That god's going to be insane. You know who else is going to be insane? Oh, that's right. Raijin. Charge Temple, every basic attack on enemies reduces Raijin's non-ultimate cooldowns by 0.2 seconds. Raiju now gets a added effect on his initial hit. Thunder Crash, they reduce the pre-fire and setup times, and Taiko Drums now gains 5 to 25% attack speed per rank. King Arthur, another god that's going to be back in the meta. Steadfast, they decrease the duration, decrease the max stacks, increase the mitigation, and now gains HP 5, or 5 HP 5, sorry. Battle Stomp increased the slow debuff. Twin Cleave fixed the issue where this first hit was only debuffing 7% of the protections instead of 10. Blade Storm, they increased the base damage and final damage. Oh, that's right. Hey, more gods that you might be irritated with, but you're going to see them in solo because they're going to run it down. Osiris, baby. Fragmented, increased the magical damage mitigation, increased the attack speed. Sickle Strike, this projectile now passes through and damages enemy minions for 50%. Judgment Tether now decreased the tether enemy's attack speed by 20%. Ares increased the basic attack damage from 38 to 40. Blessed Presence, Ares gains bonus attack damage per level for 4. Bolster defenses, Ares and allies now gain basic attack damage in the area, scaling to 20 from 0. Decreased the duration. No Escape added 20% damage mitigation while channeling. Shackles decreased the god damage per tick from 25 scaling to 105 to 20 scaling to 100. I don't know if y'all remember, but Ares got buff Latch Patch and it immediately just went up the charts in the meta, and this is going to put him over the top. This god's going to be in a lot of games or is going to be banned a lot. I think Ares is going to be really, really, really good. Along with that, Kabrakan, Tremors. Okay, Dexter's coming in. Thanks, guys. Sorry, the kids had to let the doggo in. He wanted to come help with some patch notes, apparently. Kabrakan, Tremors increase the Tremors mana cost, but they decrease the cooldown from 8 seconds to 3 seconds. Increase his base MP5, increase per level as well. And Refraction Shield decrease the mana cost, and on successful hit, this ability refunds Kabrak and mana per hit. Athena, also seeing some interesting shifts here. Preemptive Strike removed the slow from this ability, but Confound, while enemies are taunted, their attack speed is slowed by 30%. Shield Wall added the 20% slow for 2 seconds on both hits, and Defender of Olympus, Allied God gains 20% movement speed. I think these changes are wild, and I think if you're playing Athena, it's going to feel really, really good to you and your teammates, especially in duo lane. Taunting the enemy hunter and they just get 30% attack speed slowed is just going to be absolutely huge. Amaterasu, we all know I love Ama. Illuminating Strike increased the debuff duration from 5 to 6. And then Divine Presence, while Amaterasu is healing, she gains attack speed. Cuckoo, we have Zypher, decreased mana cost, decreased cooldown. On Whirlwind, Maui, Master Fisherman, gets decreased cooldown and increased damage. And Mystical Ulua, decreased the mana cost. Nemesis, decreased mana cost on Swift Vengeance. And Slice and Dice gets decreased cooldown by 1 second and increased damage scaling by 5%. Scotty, Permafrost now grants her slow immunity. Thank God that's been needed. Ymir, he gets increased MP5 per level. And Ice Wall, they decrease the cooldown from 13 seconds at all ranks and now scales down to 11. Baba Yaga, they decrease the burst damage and shield health of Home Sweet Home. Charon, Damnation, gets decreased attack speed slow from 30 to 25. Swift Voyage increased the cooldown from 15 seconds. Now it scales from 17 down to 15 seconds. Hachiman, Mounted Archery, they increased the cooldown by 10 seconds. Jormungandr, Venomous Haze, they decreased the base damage per tick. Kali, they Incense decreased power buff and Destruction decreased damage. And then Martikaros, the one that everybody's been hating on, they say this god's too strong, he's too powerful. I say nerf his ult time, like make it take longer to get up in the ult and nerf its duration. It's decided that that's not what's wanted to be done here. They are going to do a nerf to Monstrosity by decreasing the physical lifesteal and physical ability lifesteal. Poisonous Barb, they're going to increase the cooldown, and then Death from Above, they're going to decrease the damage scaling and increase the cooldown as well. Set, Spawn of Set, decrease the dash damage, and Kingslayer gets decreased movement speed. Thor, Mjolnir's Attunement gets decreased base damage, and Anvil of Dawn gets decreased damage scaling on the initial hit. So that's all the changes that have come through on this patch. I hope you all enjoy the Season of Celebration. Let me know what your favorite change in the patch. If you've listened this far, I really do appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscription, and then make sure to check out our other, content. We do a podcast on here, Up Your Experience Podcast. You can find the videos for that, or anywhere you like to listen to podcasts, you can listen to it as well. Me and Bats do that. Go check out Battlegrounds of Gods, a Smite podcast. Go check out Simping for Senpai. That's Ash Basham and Psychotics and others podcast, talking all about anime and all those fun things. I really do appreciate y'all. Take it easy. That's been the Season of Celebration update notes. Take it easy.